welcome back. Recently, I got an email from one of you who had viewed one of my videos on international trade and import-export. The question they were asking was, how do you go about finding someone who you think is a good choice to partner with for a business transaction, for a trade deal? How do you actually go about finding out whether or not these individuals are worth your time and your effort? And I had to write back to them and tell them very simply that the best way to contact someone, the best way to find out whether or not they're worth your time, is to simply call them and speak with them. Call them and ask them some basic questions. For example, if their ads are a little vague about being a direct source, which is what you want in most trade transactions, particularly if you're dealing with a commodity like scrap metal, you want a direct wholesaler, not a trading company, someone who's basically a broker. Even in my case, I'm a broker, but I'm an honest broker. I'm the kind that you can rely on, who's going to return your phone calls on a regular basis, who isn't going to cut you out of a trade deal. But a lot of trade brokers will. They don't know the etiquette of international business because they're not used to doing international business. They're not used to closing international trade deals. They let their emotions get in the way, or they let some other factor like greed get in the way. So you have to pick up the phone and call them. Most of us in this day and age, we all have a cell phone, but we use it for chitter chat and for small talk. We don't know how to pick up a phone and talk business because we're afraid of rejection. We're afraid someone's going to say no. We're afraid someone's going to slam the phone in our ear or curse us out if we don't agree with them. So what you have to do is get in touch with the individual and ask them specific questions about their role in the transaction. Are they the actual wholesaler? Are they the actual owner of the company or of the commodity that you're trying to acquire? Or are they a broker? Some people will lie to you, and if they do, you can tell by listening to their voice. They will hem, they will haw, they will stammer, they will not give you a direct answer. Sometimes they won't even return your emails or your phone calls. But the best way to find out is simply call them on their phone and speak to them. And you can tell by listening to their voice whether or not they're sincere. If they're constantly pausing, if they're not giving you direct answers, if they're not giving you a sense that you can rely on them, that you can trust them, that they are someone that you not only want to do business with, but that they can actually do the business. If you don't get the vibe here and in your gut when you talk to these people, then they're not worth your time. And a lot of people don't really want to hear that, but it's the truth. You may go through 20 or 30 potential contacts for a trade deal to do one trade deal before you find the right person who you can do the deal with, someone you can partner with. And I mean partner in order to do a trade deal, because you have to have someone you can trust, someone you can rely on to actually go through the deal with you, someone who's not going to cut you out of the deal, who's going to attempt to protect not only their own interests, but your interests as well. Because by protecting your interest, you're part of the commission, if they can, if they're in a position to do that, particularly if they're the direct supplier of the good or service that you're trying to acquire for your end user. By doing that, they create a link with you which will be useful in the coming months and years. Most people in America, perhaps in the modern world, who do business via the internet with parties in other states, in other countries, in other parts of the globe, may have a subconscious sense that they can get away with cutting people out of deals or cheating people. And in the end, they are defeated. They fail. Because if you can't trust someone to do business with you, trust is the first order of business. Then comes the agreements, then comes the contracts, then comes the business relationship. But without being able to trust you, or with you not being able to trust them, there is no beginning. Trust is the beginning. If you have questions about doing a deal, contact me. Email me, write to me, call me on the phone. I'll be happy to answer your questions. But remember, the most important thing you can do to find out whether or not someone is serious is just talk to them. You must build a rapport with them. Once you've built a rapport and you've established some trust, you stand a better chance of closing a deal with that individual than you do with someone you just call up and say, hey, I've got a client who wants this, that, or the other, let's do a deal. Some people you will find, you may luck up and find the right person right away, but you're going to have to do your homework. You may have to go through a few people to find the individual. You may have to post leads on one website or another and another until finally someone calls you. And if someone does contact you, get back to them right away. Follow through is very important. It is often the missed opportunity to do business with someone who finally does contact you that results in you not getting the deal done yourself. Ultimately, you are responsible for closing your own deals. If you want to be a trade broker, if you want to sell water purifiers, if you want to run an affiliate program and teach other people how to do things, if you want to run a business going to people's houses and making house calls to build people's websites or fix their computers, you must have follow through. When the client calls you, get back to them as soon as possible. If you have any other questions about how to deal with would-be clients or would-be contacts, again, let me know. I'm always happy to help. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for visiting my website. Take care.